So we'll be recording this webinar, but only I will be recorded. So your privacy will be preserved. And even later in the Q&C at the end, we will make sure that that is recorded, but it will stay in my possession just for review for my purposes, and nobody else will see it. So you are free to speak without any concerns about your privacy. Well, let's begin. If anybody else shows up, they can come in, no problem. So good morning again. And for those of you that may not know me, I'm Andreas Muskos, and I am a teacher of the Diamond Approach. So I want to welcome all of you to this introductory talk on the Diamond Approach and Diamond Heart 10 in particular. So I would like to begin this morning with a little centering kind of an exercise, kind of a guided meditation if you wish. So if you want, you can just close your eyes or not, it's up to you. And just let your attention flow down to your feet. Become aware of your feet on the floor. And let your attention settle here in your body, in your chair, and all the way down into your feet, into the soles of your feet. Just notice, perhaps you can experience your attention like a liquid that is aware, like a liquid attention. Just let that liquid attention fill your whole right foot and your left foot, making you aware of whatever sensations may be there in your feet. Maybe the pressure of your feet on the floor, if you're touching the floor. Maybe the sensation of your socks on your skin. Just let this liquid attention flow into your legs, kind of feeling your legs from the lower part going up gradually all the way to your knees. Becoming aware of your leg, your skin, the muscles, the shin, the calves, and maybe even areas that there is no sensation, areas that are not fully aware yet. And let that liquid attention flow into your thighs. There is no effort required. Just by turning your attention to your thighs, you can feel that liquid flow into your thighs in its own way, feeling your thighs maybe bottom up, sensing the pressure of your thighs on the chair, or the sensation of your clothing on your skin. Then from there, let your attention flow into your hands, your fingers, your palms, and then from there into your wrists and into your forearms. And of sensing into your forearms, becoming aware of whatever sensations may be there, all the way up to your elbows. And let that liquid attention flow into your upper arms, into your biceps, and into your triceps and the bones and into your shoulders. And then let that liquid presence that is aware flow into your neck and into your head. Let it fill your head inside, your skull, the bones, facial bones, and then your skin and your scalp, the temples and the upper part of your scalp and the occiput, the back of your head close to your neck, and then your jaws. Let your jaw relax. Just take a deep breath and let your tongue relax on the floor of your mouth. Let your eyeballs relax in the eye sockets. Let your forehead relax and your cheeks and your ears. And your nose. Notice how relaxing your nose and your throat relaxes your breath. Maybe your breath becomes softer and maybe a little deeper. And as your breath deepens a little more, let this attention flow down your chest and upper back and into your lower chest and middle back and into your abdomen and into your belly, lower back, and into your pelvis. And take a deep breath and then let it out. Ah, and if you want, make a sound, kind of letting go of any tensions, any tightness in any part of your body, allowing you to settle more and more into your belly and into your pelvis. And just notice perhaps you're feeling some kind of presence in your belly, in your pelvis, and notice how that affects you. Does it make you feel more present here? Does it make you feel more grounded, perhaps? Or whatever its effect may be, just let it be. We're not trying to create a particular experience, but just be with whatever is here. And let that sensation in your belly connect to your legs again. And let it get grounded into your feet and into the floor and into the earth, into the solidity of the earth. Just take a couple of minutes just being aware of that solidity of the earth under you and your breath going in and out. Just notice how your breath manifests in your belly. Perhaps like a movement of your belly going up and down, expanding and falling. Just notice how you can perhaps continue staying aware of your feet on the ground, sensing your arms and your legs, keeping yourself grounded into your body, into your chair, even as you open your eyes. Come back into this virtual room. And I would love it if you can uh, turn your camera on so I can see your faces. I'm talking to people rather than names. And it's okay if you prefer not to. That's okay too. Yeah, thank you. As I talk about our subject for today, just periodically see if you can remember to bring your attention back to your feet and your legs, staying grounded, staying in your body, staying in your chair, in your pelvis. Just notice how that affects your attention, your experience. So we'll talk a little bit about the Diamond approach today. So the Diamond approach, for those of you who may not be familiar with it, is a spiritual path that invites us to explore our true nature, what we really are, in a very personal way, combining spiritual depth what we call our true nature, what we really are, spiritually speaking, with practical everyday application of that, of what we learn, what we discover experientially. So today I hope to give you a sense of what the Diamond Approach offers and how it supports each of us individually on our journey towards personal sovereignty and true autonomy. So I invite you to listen, again, staying present as much as you can with openness and curiosity. So this path, the Diamond Approach, respects and supports the uniqueness of every individual. And so I hope that you will find something here that speaks to your own personal journey. Because the spiritual journey is very personal to each one of us. I know there are many paths that invite us to follow a particular road, that the originator, the teacher of that particular path followed. The Diamond Approach is not like that. We support each individual to find their own particular path, which is an individual unfoldment. So to understand the Diamond Approach, it helps to know a bit about its foundations. So the Diamond Approach is a modern spiritual path. Actually, next year we will be celebrating the 50-year anniversary of the Diamond Approach. That started actually here in Colorado. Back in 75 was the first talk or class that Hamid, the originator, taught here in Colorado. So this path developed over the last 50 years or so, and it integrates, the depth of spiritual wisdom that many different traditions have explored over the millennia. But it combines that wisdom with the insights from modern psychology, contemporary psychology. And this integration is not merely combining ideas, but it is actually a manifestation of a teaching in response to the complexity of modern life. So we live in a time where our lives are influenced tremendously by incredible forces. Our family of origin, of course, is the main influence in our childhood, our culture, work pressures, societal demands, all these forces shape our inner experience in profound ways. And one of the main characteristics of this modern life is the fast pace of everything. Most of us find ourselves rushing to the next thing all the time, not having time to settle into the here and now. Just notice what happens to you right now as I say that, to settle into the here and now. Yeah? Can you settle into this moment? Or are you already kind of projecting into the next moment and say, what's the next thing Andreas is going to say? Yeah. What if you settle into this moment? Just let yourself savor this moment, savor this instant of you here in your seat, in your chair, wherever you are sitting, in your couch. Yeah? There, in your own room, in your own house, interacting with me, paying attention to what I'm saying, but also to yourself, to your body, to your feet on the ground. So the Diamond approach emphasizes that realization is not uh, a one size fits all kind of thing. You know, it's not about reaching one single goal or enlightenment for everyone in a particular way, but it's about discovering experientially the vast multidimensionality of true nature, of what we really are, our true self. It's not one single thing, but rather it is a multidimensional experience that is unique to each one of us. So the Diamond approach uh, not only wants to preserve that uniqueness, but nurture it and help us develop it. So what you realize along this path will differ from what someone else discovers, because your essence, uh, your true self beneath the surface layers has its own character, has its own unique potential. It's not a generic real self. It is real self. It has something very much in common. Like we all have something in common, like at the physical level. We all have, uh, you know, very similar DNA. Actually, our DNA, I was reading something like, our DNA, our human DNA, and the DNA of monkeys differs by something like 6%. It's like, really? So you can imagine, how much less the difference is between each one of us physically, our body. But still, there is each one of us is very unique. It's unrepeatable. That uniqueness that is true of our physical body is also true of our soul, of our spiritual dimensions. So each of us has a unique soul trajectory. So realizing and embodying that unique personal essence rather than a prescribed state is what the Diamond approach is about. So I think you probably are beginning to sense the connection now of this support of the Diamond approach for the uniqueness of each individual and how that leads gradually to the sovereignty and true autonomy for each one of us. Uniqueness, sovereignty, autonomy. Yeah? How are those things connected and support each other? In fact, sovereignty supports the uniqueness and vice versa. I was yesterday, I was kind of reviewing my talk again and changing some things in my outline. And I thought, oh, what does the word sovereignty actually, the etymology of it, what is it? So I looked it up, and then I thought, uh, oh, what is it in Greek? Because I come from Cyprus, and I grew up speaking Greek, and I always want to see, because a lot of English words come from the Greek, actually. A few years ago, a friend of mine just sent me something. I was a 2-page long document, and he said every word in this document, except the words "the," "on," "under," those kinds of things, every word has its origin in Greek. It was funny. He said, you can give it to all your American friends and tell them you speak Greek. You just didn't know it. And I thought, that's very true. So anyway, the word in Greek is kyriarchia. And kyriarchia literally means self-governance, which is a very interesting word, huh? Self-governance, kyriarchia. Huh? So you are actually the governor of your own self. And then, when you look at the word sovereignty, has a very similar meaning again. It comes from the French, Old French and then Old English. Yeah. And of course, a word that is very much connected to sovereignty is autonomy. And autonomy is actually a Greek word, autonomia. Aftos means self. And nomos means law, rules. So it literally means self-rule, ruling your own self, being the master of yourself. Yeah. So sovereignty and autonomy in this context then is not about exercising power over others or simply being autonomous, being independent of other people, but also being rooted in your own self. Yeah? It's an inner mastery. It's a state of being that is guided by your own essence rather than the external standards, uh, the culture, the, the family rules, and all of those things that we were all conditioned into. All the societal demands that may be different in different cultures, different countries. So the Dhamma approach helps us discover experientially that true sovereignty, yeah, which is being fully grounded in yourself, in your true nature. Send your feet on the ground again, send your belly, take a deep breath in your belly, being grounded in what you really are, beyond the conditioned self, fully present and able to respond authentically to life's situations from your own deeper sense of self. So it's a kind of an inner freedom, freedom from the conditioning, freedom from the external influences, where your life is aligned with your true nature, who you really are. Yeah. So it's an inner freedom, which in turn shapes and affects and influences outer freedom, how we live our lives, how we are less influenced by, our political party or our religion or our, the commercials on TV and so on. That's part of that autonomy, to really think for ourselves. So autonomy is actually one of the central qualities the diamond approach helps us to cultivate. You know, we spend many, um, you know, weekends talking about autonomy in the diamond approach. You know, I was thinking about it the other day. I was thinking, how many spiritual teachings, how many spiritual traditions teach their students about autonomy? I don't know if there are many. True autonomy, it's like, most traditions, I think, they want their followers to, I mean, they call them followers, follow, follow the guru, follow the church, follow you know, as opposed to the Ramad approach comes in and says, no, 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 no. I mean, we don't even use the word follow. We don't have followers in the Ramad approach. We don't use that word because it's not about following anything or anybody. You see the difference here? That's one of the main qualities, main characteristics of the Diamond approach. So we are all born into a particular family, culture, society, which then results in a particular conditioning, all of which, the different aspects of that conditioning shape us in ways that we don't have much control over at that early time of our life. And for many of us, actually, we never gain control and autonomy and independence and uh, distance from that conditioning. You know, only people who engage in inner kind of development work begin to develop a certain measure of autonomy, independence, and sovereignty. So, to be truly free and self governing, we need to become independent from these influences. Not in a rebellion, but in order to see and experience and live from our own inner truth. That's another thing that you will, find the Diamond approach. We talk a lot about the truth. Find the truth. It will set you free. It's a very old saying that goes back into many different traditions, actually. Christianity, Islam, and so on. Find the truth, and the truth will set you free. But the truth is not a prescribed truth that, a teacher tells you and you believe it. No, in the Diamond approach, I want you to discover the truth for yourself. So many times when I give talks like this, and in the, to all my students in the different groups, I tell them, don't believe anything I tell you. Find out for yourself if what I say is true for you. So autonomy here for us means really breaking free from layers of conditioning that come from, family beliefs, cultural standards, societal norms, and that freedom allows us to govern ourselves from a place of deeper authenticity and autonomy. So this path, the Diamond approach, supports this process by helping us identify also the influences and connect to our true self beneath those influences. So in order to be free, of something, we need to notice first that something that limits our freedom. It's like to get out of jail, first you need to become aware that you are in jail. Otherwise, you're not going to attempt to escape or get out. So sovereignty is not about domination or control. You know, it's an inner stability. Like take a deep breath and sense your belly again, and sense your feet on the ground. Ground. It's an inner stability and self-mastery. It means being free from the control of our ego, our superego, our inner critic, inner conflicts. So when we talk about sovereignty here, we are referring to a profound grounding in ourselves, an ability to respond to the world from essence, from our true sense of self, rather than reactivity, rather than conditioning. So true spiritual work is really to guide individuals like you and me in developing that inner locus of control. You know that expression, that term, inner locus of control? Huh? It's like, what? It's like, what are you controlled by? You know, uh, like a child is controlled by the external authority, their parents mostly, or their teachers, or, their caretakers, As we grow up, we have relationships that we become dependent on. And we actually adapt what we believe and what we say and what we do to please somebody else, or not to displease somebody, or not to get somebody angry at us, and so on, or trying to comply so we get what we want from the other person. That's an external locus of control. So to have an internal locus of control means that I decide, uh, what I want, what I do, because this is what I want to do. This is the genuine, authentic what I want, as opposed to responding to what you want and trying to please you. So through deep spiritual inquiry and practices that reveal the deeper layers of our true nature, we connect to different qualities of our real self, like will and strength and inner support and inner power. And you can see how all of those qualities support an inner sense of sovereignty, autonomy. It's like you are your own queen and your own king. I remember a few years ago, I was doing some acupuncture, and this lady here, she was Chinese, and she was talking to me about uh, as she was doing the needles, she was also teaching me, and she was talking to me about uh, the philosophy of traditional Chinese medicine and acupuncture and so on. And she was saying, uh, This particular configuration I have been using today is to actually help you ground yourself in your own throne. I said, my own throne? What do you mean? He says, you are the emperor of your own realm. I said, oh, I like that. Tell me more about it. And she had, she was actually talking about this quality of sovereignty, but she was putting it in different terms. She was talking about, you can see it was, a different culture. So they were using different terms, you know. You are the emperor, the empress of your own realm. And he says your own realm is your body and your thoughts and your feelings and, your experience. And I was thinking, it's like, wow, this chives very well with the Diamond approach. Like, your own experience, your own soul, that is the sphere of your own experience. To be the queen, the king of your own domain. That's true autonomy. That's true sovereignty. So through this grounded connection in what we really are, we move beyond reactivity, beyond automatic responses to life's pressures. Instead, we act from a place of deeper connection, integrity, alignment with our essence, alignment with our spiritual substance, our true self. This is what we mean by sovereignty or self governance. Then your feet on the ground again, on the floor. Just be here now. We're not going anywhere. We are staying here and discovering more of the richness and the depth of the here and now. Because your true self, what you really are, your true nature, is here now. It's not later. It's not in the future. So the core method of the Diamond approach is inquiry. It's a practice of open-ended experiential exploration into your own inner experience. That's why I keep bringing you back to your own experience here now. Send your feet on the ground. Send your belly. What's happening here for you right now as you are listening to me talking about inquiry? You can be curious about your own experience. It's not about trying to get particular answers or creating particular experiences, but rather it's about discovering what's true for each one of us right here, right now. It's a process of unfolding moment by moment, revealing our deeper truths as we explore our experience. And as we explore our experience, we discover, for example, that, oh, I am influenced by this particular belief now that my father had and passed on to me, or my mother had and passed on to me. Yeah? And so through that kind of inquiry, seeing what is not authentic and true for us, and seeing that we gain experiential insight into our inner world, our inner dimensions. Not through mental analysis, but through an open, curious, body-centered exploration. That's the Diamond approach kind of inquiry. So this way we can see what blocks us from living fully and expressing the qualities of our true self, qualities like joy, peace, will, strength, all of the qualities that are inherent, love, all of the qualities that are inherent in what we really are, aspects of our own true nature. So you can see how inquiry plays a vital role in discovering autonomy and building autonomy and enhancing autonomy and supporting autonomy and deepening autonomy, because it allows us to investigate not only who we are beyond our conditioning, but also what gets in the way. So this kind of inquiry, we can begin to see and feel what's truly ours and what's imposed, what has been shaped by external influences. And naturally, when we see what is an external influence, we don't want to continue. We just let it go. We may, for example, be, this is kind of fresh on my mind because I was celebrating my grandson's 18th birthday on Thursday night with him and the whole family. And I was asking him, what are you going to go to college for? And he was telling me, it seems like he's still on the same track, wants to go into medicine. I said, great, wonderful, you know. But I've been inquiring, kind of asking him periodically, over the years, and kind of in a way triggering an inquiry in him, you know, and helping him discover. It's like, what do you want to achieve? What kind of career do you want to have? Not, and then I would ask him, it's like, is this something that your mother wants you to become? Is this something your father? Is that something some other person wants you, friends and so on? Or is this what you want? You know? So it's like I was trying to help him be more autonomous, be more sovereign. You see that? So our inquiry in the diamond approach helps us to actually find, what we are driven to achieve. Where does it have its roots? Is it rooted in family expectations, or is it rooted in our own heart's desire? Because that's what true autonomy means. It's following your own inner true heart's desire. Like, that psychologist, what was his name? Campbell, Joseph Campbell, you know, used to say, follow your bliss. So through inquiry, each one of us begins to discover and reveal to ourselves, to our own experience, the qualities of our own true nature, truth, clarity, and from those qualities, the ability to act in the world, in life, from a place of personal authority, personal autonomy, personal sovereignty, being the emperor and the empress of your own realm. And your own realm, again, is your body, is your energy, is your thoughts, your feelings, your experience, past, present, future, your actions, your sphere of influence, the sphere of experience of the world where you live your life. That's your domain. So we are, the Diamond approach. We teach the Diamond approach in groups. So like here in Colorado, we have a new group that has been going on now for some time, but it's still open for new students. Diamond Heart 10 or DH10, as we call it affectionately. You know, and it's part of the academy program of the Ridwan School. Academy program means it is the official curriculum of the Ridwan School, where we dive into the teachings of the Diamond approach in a community setting, in a group setting. So this group environment allows each individual to learn from one another and from the other students in the group and feel the support of every individual of the whole group in a very personal yet shared journey. And of course, the curriculum of this particular group, like most, all the groups around the world that study the Diamond approach, they are designed to foster a deep, ongoing integration of the individual discoveries of what each one of you discovers to be your true nature. And the teachings are cumulative. It's like you discover your strength, you discover your will, you discover your power, your inner true power. All of these combine, to actually uh, support and create your true autonomy and your true sovereignty. And then the inquiry also shows you what you are caught in terms of conditioning, and therefore gain freedom from that conditioning. So the autonomy then and the sovereignty has two facets. One is freedom and autonomy and independence from the conditioning, and the other is groundedness into your own true nature, into the qualities of your own true nature, your own power, your own strength, your own will, your own inner support. Take a deep breath. Just send your feet on the ground again. And just notice what's happening for you here now as you're listening. How are all these ideas, what I'm saying, the experience resonating with you or not? Do you like what I'm saying? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What's happening? So anyway, we can go on talking about this subject for a very long time. As I said earlier, in the Diamond approach, in the official teachings, not these introductory things, that we are doing like today. But if you join a group, you can go on studying these things for a very long time, for as long as you want. But we can talk and talk and talk about and explore and explore and explore and discover so much about inner autonomy and sovereignty, what it means to be the emperor and the empress of your own realm. So I would like to invite you to do an exploration because the whole thing is an experiential thing. It's not about theories. It's not about just listening and believing what Andreas said, but it's about exploring and finding out what does this all mean for you personally. So I would like to invite you to, we'll go into triads, into groups of three, and to take, I don't know what, maybe take 15 minutes each and explore. Particularly, let me see, what is the exercise I thought of having you do? It's like explore what sovereignty and autonomy means to you and what stands in the way of realizing your full sovereignty and autonomy. So explore for 15 minutes what sovereignty and autonomy means to you and what stands in the way of realizing your full sovereignty and autonomy. Okay? So basically, if you don't know how this is done, Julia just put the exercise in the chat for you. So she will just put you into rooms of 2 or 3 people and take 15 minutes each and just speak about, explore, talk about that subject that I just said. And as one of you is speaking, the other one of the others kind of time it for 15 minutes. And it's not a discussion, So you just let the other person explore, for themselves in their own way, without interference, verbal or non-verbal, no approval, no disapproval, or anything like that. So you let each other explore for yourself this subject about sovereignty and autonomy. And when the 15 minutes is up, then you switch to the next person. Again, time it for 15 minutes. And then when the time is up, go to the third person if you have a third one in your triad, or if it is just 2 of you, then you just take a break or, talk about whatever, or do 20 minutes, whatever you want to do. Feel free to adjust the timing, And then, so that will be 45 minutes. And then we'll take a 10-minute break. So that will be 55 minutes. So we'll be back at 11:55, 5 minutes before the next hour. 11:55 Mountain Time.